ช่วงนี้จะเป็นช่วงภาษาอังกฤษนะมีญาติโยมชาวมาเลเซียมาเยี่ยมมาฟังเทศน์ฟังธรรมก็อย่าบังกล้องนะอย่าบังกล้องนะมีกล้องถ่ายไม่เป็นไรเข้าไปได้โยมขยับไปหน่อยได้ไหมหรือมาทางนี้ก็ได้หรือมาทางนี้ก็ได้เนี่ยใครอยากจะนั่งทางนี้บ้างก็ได้ข้างล่างเลย Just leave some room for the camera. We have live broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Then you can move in here. Come in here. You can come closer. Or you can stay there wherever you want.
What does you want?
It is Thai custom not to sit cross-legged when you listen to Dhamma talk. You sit like me, like this. You only cross-legged when you meditate. Okay. How many of you are here today? 12. What is your itinerary?
Ajahn, we are here to pay respect to Ajahn and our gratitude for all the Dhamma sharing that you have done for us. Because we have been following Ajah's Facebook, and we take the Facebook information and share through WhatsApp to many Malaysians, a few hundred of us. So, some of these friends, they just come and visit Ajahn today from Malaysia. Arrived yesterday, today, and tomorrow go back.
I see, just 3 days. Where are you from? Kuala Lumpur?
Kuala Lumpur, yes.
But another group of us actually have been in Thailand for like a week.
1 week.
I see. Okay. And you belong to a Buddhist association? Or to a temple? Or?
Yes, kind of, but we are just Buddhist friends.
Buddhist
This group is just Buddhist friends.
Where do you gather usually? At a temple or at a when you meet in Kuala Lumpur? Do you?
Yes, we do.
Do you have place to?
Subangjaya, we have the monastery.
Oh, I see.
Temple.
Can you stay and meditate in the temple?
Oh yes, we can.
Because you need a place to practice. Studying is not enough by itself. Studying is essential, it's important, but it's only one step to the next step. After you have studied, the next step you have to practice. Because if you don't practice, you don't have the result. By studying will not bring you the result that you want. You need to practice. But you need to study first, so that you know the proper way, the right way to practice. So first you have to listen to Dhamma talks or read Dhamma books. And the best Dhamma book is to read the Dhamma discourses of the Lord Buddha. We should read some of his discourses. It's very important. That way you will know the original teaching. And then after you go listen to some other teachers teaching, then you can compare the teaching, whether it is according to what the Buddha had taught or not. If you don't study from the original source, you could be misled. Because sometimes the teacher who teaches you might be misled himself without realizing it. He thinks he might be teaching the right thing. But if you read the discourses of the Buddha and compare, you might find it different. Then you would have to investigate which is the right one, which is the correct one. Or maybe both of them are correct. Sometimes it might be a little bit different, because the technique, when you practice, there are several different techniques. Like when you try to meditate for calm, you can use 40 subjects of meditation. You don't need to use one, one only. There are several ones. But sometimes a teacher will only teach one particular one that he found suitable for him and that he had result. So he usually teach you that. But if you find it not suitable for you, you can try some other thing. Like in Thailand, we used to teach the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. But the Lord Buddha taught the Anapanasati. It teaches you to use your breath when you sit and meditate. And when you're not meditate, you should be mindful of your body, watching your body all the time, in order to keep your mind to stay in the present, not to let your mind float around. Don't let your mind go to the past or go to the future, because it will make your mind agitated or restless. If you want your mind to be calm, you should stay in the present. So you should watch your body and stop your mind from thinking about the past or the future. Then when you meditate, you will have the mindfulness to concentrate on your breath. And if you fix your attention on your breath and without letting your mind go someplace else, your mind can then enter into samadhi, become calm and happy. Then you will find another way of making yourself happy. You don't need to have money to be happy. You don't need to be rich and famous to be happy. You don't have to be big to be happy. You can be nobody and be happy. And it's the best form of happiness because you can have it all the time. But if you rely on your wealth to make you happy, when you lose your wealth, then you become sad. So it's better to have this kind of happiness, the happiness that arises from your meditation practice. But you have to study first the proper way, the right way of practice. And once you have found, once you have studied, once you have learned, then the next step is to practice. That's why I say you have to have a place to go to practice, because it's not easy to practice at home unless you live alone. If you live with other people, there will be so many distractions, and you will not be able to concentrate on staying in the present, watching your body, because somebody else will come and talk to you, somebody will turn on the television, somebody will be eating, and all this will distract your mind. And so you will find it very difficult to meditate. But if you go live in a monastery where you have a place by yourself, then there will be no distraction. Then you can concentrate on your mindfulness. And when you meditate, then you can calm your mind, bring your mind into samadhi. And then you will be happy living alone. Then eventually you want to leave the house and go and stay in the monastery instead, because it's better. But right now you still rely on the happiness in the house, so you cannot leave your house, your home, because you still need to have television, you need to have a refrigerator, you have to have your favorite drinks, your mahjong or your your iPhone, and so forth. You have to leave everything, because they are distractions. They are not real happiness. They distract your mind so that you don't think about things that make you sad and unhappy. But it's better to stop your mind from thinking by meditating. When you don't think about anything, then your mind will have no emotion, no feeling, especially bad feelings. Then your mind will be calm and peaceful and happy. Then you will know that the way to make yourself happy is to keep your mind calm, to stop thinking. If you want to think, you can think in a way that will make your mind happy also. Think according to the way the Buddha teaches us to think. Think of the truth of life, like anicca, dukkha, anatta. Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. then you understand the truth, then you can let go of the truth. You don't cling to things, because everything that you cling to will make you unhappy one day, because the thing that you cling to will disappear, will part from you, or you will have to part from them. This is the practice that you will be able to do if you are by yourself. If you are if you are mingling with other people, there will be other things for you to think about. Where to go to for holiday, where to go for the weekend, what to do tonight, what to do. This is all the things that you'll be thinking about. Then you'll forget about the truth. And when one day you come face to face with the truth, you don't know how to face them, to handle them. Only thing you can do is feel sad, feel miserable. Nowadays people use suicide as a way of solving their problem. When they come face to face with truth, face the truth of the body, when the body eventually becomes useless, then what do you do with the body? You just kill it, to solve the problem. That's not the way of solving the problem. Because by killing yourself, nobody wants to die, So when you do this, you make yourself very miserable, not happy. But your delusion makes you think, well, once you die, then you'll be happy, because all your misery will disappear. But it doesn't. Your misery is in your mind, not in your body. And it's caused by your desire to use the body. Once you cannot use the body, then you become miserable. So you think of getting rid of your body. It will make you no longer miserable. But you will still be miserable, because you still want to have a new body. So you come back and reborn and have a new body. And then you'll come face the same problem again. So you will end up in this vicious cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. And death by suicide, not by natural causes. If you run into problem, if you're lucky, you might not run into a problem with your body. You might not run into a problem with your money or wealth. Then you might not have to commit suicide in that life. But any time when you run into a problem which you cannot solve, then the only way you think of solving it is by killing yourself. This is because you don't know the proper way of dealing with your problem. The proper way is to calm your mind, make your mind happy. Once you're happy, then you don't need to kill the body. You can leave the body alone. The body is not the culprit. The culprit is your mind, your desire in your mind, your desire to use the body to make you happy. Once you cannot use the body to make you happy, then you want to get rid of it. So it's very important to learn to meditate, to calm your mind, to make your mind happy without having to rely on your body. Because in the future you will not be able to rely on your body. Now you have the time. Don't let it be too late. Don't let it come to the point where the body become useless and you still cannot calm your mind. Calm your mind now before your body become useless. So when you know how to calm your mind, when your body becomes useless, you just calm your mind, and your mind will be happy without having to rely on the body to make you happy. Okay. You got any question? Okay.
While he's looking up, can I ask that when a person is closing to death, a few moments before death, what happens? And then after a person passes away, the consciousness and all that, what happens?
Well, the mind and the body separate, that's all.
Separate.
Actually, the mind is connected to the body, to the stream of consciousness that the mind sends to the body. Mm-hmm. The body and the mind are in two different locations, different world. The world, the physical world is the body world, and the mental world is the spiritual world. They are two separate dimensions or different worlds, and they are connected through the stream of consciousness. The mind tends to connect to the five senses, the vijnana, the five vijnana, so that the mind can see the picture that the eye see, can listen to the sound that the ear picks up. This is connected and sent into the mind, and the mind has another stream of consciousness that direct the body to do things. This is sankhara, your thoughts. See, you use your thought to direct your body. Coming here, you have to tell your body, I want to come here. So then you direct the body to come here. That is also from the mind. So the mind sends the vijnana to. They have the input and output thing. You call. The mind get the input from the five senses, and the mind has the output from the thoughts. You use your thought to tell your body what to do, and you use your vijnana to receive information to send to the mind. And when the body die, all this it can no longer send you any messages. Just like your television, when the television doesn't work, you don't need no picture anymore, so you don't see anything. But the mind is still the same, nothing. There's no change in the mind. There's only a disconnection of the mind from the body. But since the mind still has desire for using the body to do what it used to do, then it will go look for a new body. Once it has found the body, then it will then connect to that body at the time of conception, when the father and mother come together, and then when the egg start to develop, then the consciousness will come and connect to that new body. And then when it's born, then you use the new body again. So when you die, it's like you go to sleep, and when you're born, it's like you're waking up. See? When the body no longer functions, it's like going to sleep. Like when you go to sleep last night, you didn't know anything about the body anymore. And when you wake up, you come back to the body. It's the same way that at death you go to sleep with the old body, but when you wake up with a new body. Birth, see? But you're still the same person. You still have the same characteristic, personality. Everything that you have in this life will be preserved in your next life. Yeah.
So is this from movement from the old body to a new body immediate, or is there?
There's a gap, I think, because you might have to go and be directed by your karma. Your karma, good or bad karma, will send your mind into different stages of feeling, like dreaming. Like I said, the time between death and a new birth is like the time when you go to sleep.
So there's a gap.
Yeah, when you sleep, you can have good dreams or you can have bad dreams. Right. If you had a lot of good karma, then you have a lot of good dreams. If you have bad karma, then you have bad dreams. Yeah. Bad dreams we call hell. Good dreams we call heaven. It's not a place. It's just the state of the mind. Why it doesn't have the body. It then becomes heavenly or being hellish. Depends on the karma. If you commit a lot of bad karma, you have bad dreams. Yeah. If you do a lot of good karma, you have good dreams. And then when your dream expires, then when you have the ability to connect to a new body, then you have rebirth.
So Ajahn, the new rebirth, the rebirth, is there a way to inherit all the knowledge or whatever skill that you have acquired from the previous?
Some you retain, some you don't. If it's memory, you don't. Like the languages, the places that you have been, you will probably forget. But what you do with yourself all the time, you don't forget. If you're right-handed, you will be right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll be left-handed. If you are gifted musically, you'll be gifted musically. If you are gifted scientifically, you'll be gifted scientifically. This is in your mind. This is not something that you will. If anything that is habitual, it will stay with you. If it's anything memory, it can disappear. Like what you eat yesterday, you already forgot today, right? Something like that. You sometimes even what you did just an hour ago, you already forgot. But how you did it, you don't forget because it's habitual. What you like, what you dislike, go with you. If you used to go to a monastery when you were reborn and you found a new monastery, you want to go to a monastery. If you used to go to nightclubs, then you want to go to nightclubs.
So, Ajahn, it is a latent tendency that we carry forward to our next existence.
Your character, your personality, your habit go with you. Your kilesa and your dhamma go with you. If you have samadhi, it will go with you. If you have sila, it will go with you. If you have dana, it will go with you. If you have lopa, moha, dosa, it go with you. If you don't have it, then it don't go with you. Like the Buddha had no lopa, dosa, moha, no kilesa. So he doesn't go and have a new body. Because there's nothing to direct his mind to go seek a new body. He doesn't want a new body anymore. So he still exists without the body, that's all. The Buddha right now still exists. All the teachers that died, they still exist, but they don't have a new birth anymore, that's all. Because they see birth as suffering. They see birth as like walking into a bonfire, a burning house, This body is like a burning house, waiting to burn. Right now it's still okay, or like a volcano, waiting to erupt. If you know it's a volcano, it's gonna erupt, you're gonna go to that volcano. You want to stay as far away from it as possible. That's the mind of the Buddha and all the noble disciples. They see that birth is like an erupting volcano. They don't want to go near it. That's all. But they still exist, and they exist like in a dream. Maybe they don't need to have a body, but they can still dream. They can still have, have supreme happiness. Nibbana is the supreme happiness. So they don't need to have the body to make them happy. They have the ability to calm the mind to make them happy.
Ajahn, so if we practice samadhi or if we learn about the Dharma in this life, that can be carried forward to...
If it's memory, you will lose it. But if it's practical, if you want, like if you could kill the kilesa, then that will go with you. But you just remember that the kilesa is bad, but you haven't killed it yet, then it won't go with you. You have things that you achieve from practice will go with you, or things that become habit will go with you.
What about those who are bad karma and born a lower form of life? It's not that consciousness is joined to connect.
Yeah, connect with the body of the animals. Instead of human body, it only has the ability to connect to the animal body, connect to the insects, to ants, to butterfly, to birds, but it cannot connect to the human body.
Ajahn.
Until it expires the bad karma first. When the bad karma expires, then it will be able to connect to the human body.
Ajahn, the question is also related to this topic. It's also in one of the books that you mentioned that the mind here, is it permanent or not permanent?
Yeah, it doesn't. The mind of the Buddha is still here.
Okay.
What is impermanent is what happened inside the mind. See,
Okay.
sometimes they use the same word to mean two different things. The mind itself is permanent; it cannot be destroyed. But the things that inside the mind, like the four namakhandas, they rise and cease. They're like lights in the fire. You know the what you call fire Firefly. When they fly, they have these beeping lights on and off, but the fire doesn't disappear. See, it's the light that come and go, rise and cease. It's the same way with the emotion, the feelings inside the mind comes and go. Sometimes you have good feeling, bad feeling. Sometimes the mind is restless. Sometimes the mind is calm. So these are impermanent, but not the mind itself. The mind never cannot be destroyed. Let's put it that way.
For a practice of a noble person, right? He has done good deeds and things like, and at the death, they say the last thought moment is actually important. If the last thought moment is bad, what happens to all the other good deeds which the being has?
No, the last thought moment is the product of all the karmas that you did up to your last moment. You should just go at that last moment and just click on the good or bad karma. It is like you are at the end of the year, you run a company, you do your accounting. You cannot change the number because they add both the asset and the liabilities. Your credit and your debit. Same way with good and bad karma, they're like credit and debit. See, at the end they come and do the balance at the end. If the good karma is more than the bad karma, then you consider profit. You're profitable. Then when the mind dies, the good karma will then send the mind to the good destination.
So it's a habitual practice, which is actually a very important core, essential.
Yes, everything that you do adds up to the end of your life. See, today you're doing good karma. Maybe tomorrow you do a bad karma. Then it goes into different accounts. See, good karma account and bad karma account. And at the end of when you die, most of this account will come and to see which one is stronger. If the good karma is stronger, then it will send you to heaven. If the bad karma is stronger, it takes you to hell, for instance. And when both the good and the karma become equal, balanced, then you come and be born as a human being. See? Because the good karma cannot send you to heaven, the bad karma cannot send you to hell. So the only place you can come is to become a human again.
Ajahn, if a person born into the Deva realm, can they still practice, or is the condition difficult because they are so enjoyable and pleasurable that
they need to have a teacher to initiate their practice?
But there are teachers, right?
Well, when the Buddha he taught the Devas every night. See? He taught his mother for 3 months until she became a Sotapanna. The Devas need a teacher or else they'll be lazy. Because they instead of practice they enjoy themselves. But some Devas have this habit in themselves that they like to go to listen to Dhamma talk. So they'll look for a teacher who can connect with them. Like Ajahn Man. Ajahn Man also could taught the Devas. So they would go to whichever teacher that can teach them Dhamma, then they can connect with him.
Ajahn, relating to meditation and mindfulness, supposedly if you see like a sense or a sound coming in, if it's a pleasant sound, you know it's a pleasant sound, and then you know you're feeling whether good, bad feeling or neutral feeling. What happens if there's extreme? For example, this is from personal experience. A light, very strong light comes in, or a sound, a very hard sound that comes in. It's too fast for the mind to catch, but you certainly protect yourself, close the eye or whatever to protect senses. Is that at that moment means that you don't have mindfulness at all, or it's just the mind is reacting very fast that you don't see?
I think maybe part of it is mindfulness. If you have strong mindfulness, you might just remain calm and not reacting. So it's a matter of practicing and subject your mind to extreme condition, so that the mind will then be able to react to extreme condition, not react to extreme condition. That's why monks have to go into the forest to seek extreme conditions. So when they face the extreme condition, then they can condition the mind to just be aware. But if something that's sudden, like maybe a loud bang, something, your mind might not be ready. It might just, cause the mind to stir up a little bit. That's okay. That's considered to be natural for the mind. When you're not watching all the time, even if you're mindful, but you're not prepared to face that thing. Like Dong Ta explained that an arahant, when he walks and should he sleep, he will try to help himself automatically. If he can reach to grab something or something, he would do it. It's like a reflex. It's a reflex. This reflex, you cannot stop them. If something loud explodes, you might start to have a little reflex, but after that everything becomes normal again. But with people who has no mindfulness, after they heard something big, after they reflect, they also start to have fear. And so that's the difference. With an arahant, he won't have any reaction after the reflex, but the reflex is natural. Like he said, if you walk on the path, and you suddenly saw a branch, but you thought it was a snake, and you were about to step on that branch, you would then jump, because you think it's a snake. See, so that's a natural reflex. Okay, and answer your questions.
Just now Ajahn said about the mind being permanent. What happens when the mind ceases? In the practice, when the mind ceases.
Not cease. It cannot cease.
It cannot cease.
It cannot cease. It's always there. It always knows. What ceases are the function of the mind, like the vijnana. When the mind doesn't connect to the body, then it cannot see or hear. Then there's no vijnana. Sometimes there's no feeling. When you're in samadhi, you stop all these four khandhas. No thought, no vijnana. Everything just become knowing. All you have left is just the mind itself, the one who knows. But when you withdraw from samadhi, then your sankhara start to think about this and that. Then your feelings start to come up. This thing come and rise and cease. They change. Sometimes they think of good things. Sometimes they think of bad things. When you think of good things, you have good feeling. When you think of bad things, you have bad feelings. But when you stop thinking, all the good and bad feeling will disappear. So it's best not to think. Then you have another kind of happiness, the happiness that arises from not thinking, calm.
Ajahn, in your Dhamma talks, Ajahn said that there are monks who has the ability to look into the people's future and all that. Some ability to that. How does a person know that this monk is able to look into somebody's future?
It happens. When it happens, it happens. Some people have, some people don't have, and they have different abilities. Only the Buddha, I think he had all the supernatural abilities. Other disciples, some have some of it, some don't. Like the Venerable Moggallana, he has a lot of supernatural powers, almost equal the Buddha. While the Venerable Sariputta had none. He had no supernatural power, but he had the wisdom ability, his ability of using his wisdom to teach Dhamma, only second to the Buddha. And the Buddha said the special ability in the propagation of Dhamma is more important than the supernatural powers, because supernatural powers cannot teach you the Dhamma. But the ability to explain the Dhamma in such a clear way that can make you become enlightened by just hearing it. It's more important. So don't worry about the supernatural powers, reading other people's mind. You don't want to listen to what they think. A lot of them they think bad thing about you, you know.
Ajahn, can we ask something about can you share something about emptiness?
Emptiness is when the mind stops functioning, see? When the namakanda stops. This is one form of, when you're in samadhi, you're in emptiness. There's no feeling, no sankhara, nothing. Everything stops. This is a temporary emptiness. You know. Another kind of emptiness is permanent emptiness. The emptiness when you get rid of all your defilements. Your sankhara, everything still works, but it doesn't create any emotions or anything. The mind will still be empty of all emotion. This is the permanent kind of emptiness. The Arahant, the Buddha have this emptiness. They still think. Yeah. They use the thought to teach Dhamma. They still hear things, but they have no emotion towards what they receive, what they see or they hear. They just merely know. Because they have got rid of the one that caused the reaction, which is the defilements. If you still have defilements, when you see or hear things, you start to have like or dislike. Then you start to have desire for them, or desire to have them, or desire to get rid of them. But if you get rid of all this desire, then your mind will be empty of any reaction. That's what it means by emptiness. But the khandha is still there. You still think, the Buddha still think, he still feel and everything, but he has no defilements to cause his mind to become attached to whatever he sees or hears, or react to whatever he sees or hears, or whatever he feels. That's why the Buddha taught the man who asked him when he was on the alms round. This man asked, "Can you teach me Dhamma?" You know, the Buddha said, "This is not the time. I don't have much time to talk." He said, "Just give me a brief talk, you know, just 1 or 2 words." So the Buddha told him, "Whatever you see, just see. Whatever you hear, just hear." And he understood. And then he asked the Buddha to go and prepare to himself to become a monk. And on the way back, I think he was hit by a bull or something and died. And somebody told the Buddha, and the Buddha said, cremate him and then erect a jedi, a pagoda, and to contain his relics in there. That means the Buddha has known that this man has become enlightened already. Just like that. Yeah, he could understand. He could probably see his mind already, but he just don't know how to control his mind until the Buddha told him how to control it. Yeah. Just leave it alone. Leave everything alone. Don't react. You know, that's what he's trying to say. But we don't. Every time we see things, we react. We think, "Oh, this is good, this is bad," so forth, and then we react to what we think. See? We're not reacting to the thing we see. We're reacting to what we think.
During meditation, when the mind goes into samadhi, very calm, peaceful state, when would be the correct moment to slowly switch to vipassana?
When you come out, when you start to think, when you stop thinking, don't start thinking, because then you will disrupt the samadhi. See? You want to keep the mind calm as long as possible. It's like you putting the water bottle inside the refrigerator. If you want it to be cool, you want to keep it there for a long time, so that when you take it out, you can then use this cool water to drink. See, but after you take it out for a while, the water can be warm. It's like the mind. When the mind is outside of samadhi, it's warm. It has emotions and everything. It cannot think clearly, properly. So you put into samadhi to cool it. Once you cool it, then when you come out, immediately when you come out, it's still cool. Then you use that moment to investigate Dhamma, to think in terms of Dhamma. But after you think for a while, your mind will start to become warm again. Then you stop, go back into samadhi to cool it again. So it's a process of going back and forth between samadhi and panya. You don't do panya when you're in samadhi. You only do it immediately after you come out of samadhi, when you start to think. If you're not thinking, don't force the mind to think at that time. You want to cool the mind. Let the mind stay cool, not thinking for as long as possible, until it becomes cannot stay in that state anymore. Then it will start to come out and start to think. Then instead of letting it think in the way of the defilements, bring it to think in the way of Dhamma. Force it to think of Dhamma. Like think of your body. Your body is not yourself. Your body is just for the four elements. Your body will get old, get sick, and die. And so is the body of everybody else. Just keep thinking like this until the mind can remember and not forget, and can accept the truth. See? Then it will not be hurt by the aging, sickness, or death of the body. But after you think for a while, your mind might start to become agitated and become not rational anymore. Then you should stop investigating. Because instead of thinking of letting go of the body, you might start to think and worry about the body again. Then you should stop your investigation, your contemplation, and then go back into samadhi to calm your mind first. See, when your mind gets hot, it means your defilements start to work. When your mind becomes cool, that's when your defilement stops working. And you can stop the defilement from working only when you go into samadhi. And you need a cool, clear mind to look at the truth. See? If your mind is not cool and clear, if your mind is emotional, you don't want to look at the truth. Like right now, you don't want to think of your death, right? Have you ever want to think of your death? You don't want to. But you're going to have to face it one day. So it's better to think of it now and learn to cope with it now before it happens. And you can only do this when your mind is calm and clear. When you have come out of samadhi, then you can do that. Then you can teach the mind that it's okay to die. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be fearful about. Because you don't die with the body. See, the one who is fearful is the mind. And the mind doesn't die with the body. And the body that dies is not fearful either. Because the body doesn't know it's going to die. Because the body is just like a post here. See? So then you start to separate the mind from the body by contemplation, by investigation. Then eventually you see, the body is not me, so why should I worry about it? It's gonna go. There's nothing that can stop it. If I can still maintain it, I will maintain it. If it gets sick, I'll go to the hospital and fix it. If I cannot fix it, then let it be. But I'm not going to be anxious when I try to fix the body. If it's going to get well, fine. If it's not going to get well, that's the way it's going to be. But the mind is not the one who gets sick, so why should the mind worry? When the body who gets sick is not worry. This is delusion, that makes the mind becomes thinking that it is the body. You have to do this after you come out of samadhi, when your mind is clear and calm. But when your mind starts to be cloudy, then you cannot do it. Then you have to come into samadhi to clear it again. So the process of vipassana and samatha goes back and forth. They support each other, let's put it that way. Samadhi will support the contemplation. And the contemplation, when you see the truth, it will make the mind become calm. Easier to enter into samadhi. Because there are less resistance. Because the defilement will be gradually eliminated. The more the kilesa, the defilements are eliminated, the easier for you to enter into samadhi. So both support each other, like the right and left foot, they support each other. When you walk, you have to use one foot to step on, to stand, and the other to push forward. Then then you use the other one to move forward. See? It's the same way. Samadhi and Panya goes hand in hand until the end, until you finish your work, until you, like your feet, you use both feet to get to your destination. You cannot use one foot alone. If you're one-legged, then you have to skip, right? If you only have Samadhi, you cannot move forward. If you have Vipassana, you cannot use it because your mind is not clear and calm. You don't see the truth. You cannot see the truth. So you need both to help each other.
Ajahn, we are aware of our mind. I mean, the mind is aware of the body sensations. But is there a thing such as a mind being aware of the mind?
Yes, when there is no sensation, and all that is left is the mind. See, that's when you see the one who knows. When you're into full samadhi, then all the sensation disappear, and all that is left is just the mind, the one who knows. It's like a television. When you turn on the television, you don't see the screen, right? You see the picture on the screen. But when you turn off the television, what do you see? You see the screen. See, right now your mind is being blocked by your feelings, your thoughts. You only see your feeling and your thoughts. See? You don't see the one who knows, the knower. But when you stop thinking, stop your feeling, then you see the mind, the one who knows. So you have to practice samadhi. When you enter into samadhi, when all your feeling and your thoughts stop, then what remains is just the mind, the one who knows, the knower.
With regards also to the meditation, in the breath, at the moment of the change of the inhalation and exhalation, right?
You don't have to go into that detail.
Okay.
Just know it comes in and go out, so that your mind don't go think. You don't want to think about your breath. You just want to watch your breath.
What I wanted to ask is the feeling of like dying sometimes appear, like birth, rebirth.
Okay, just beware. That's all. Don't initiate any thoughts about it. Don't ponder. Don't consider. Just watch. Just to know. It goes in. It comes out. It goes in. It comes out. And if there's no breath, just know there's no breath. As long as there is knowing, you're not gonna die. Don't worry. Because when you sit, the more the mind become calm, the more subtle will the breath be, until you might not be able to observe it. Just make the knowing that this is just the way it is. Don't get excited. Don't get worried about losing your breath. You're not gonna die. Because the mind has become so subtle, the breath has become so subtle that you cannot feel it, that's all. It's still there. Just keep watching. If you don't get excited from that, then your mind will then can enter into samadhi. It's just about reaching the destination already. But when you get excited or you get worried, then you pull it back. See? Just leave it alone. Leave the breath alone. Don't worry about it. Just watch. Just like from the start, just watch your breath. Whether it's coarse or subtle, whether it's short or long. Just know, don't control your breath. Leave it alone. You're there just to watch. So that you cannot, so when you're watching your breath, then you cannot think about other things. See? That's the purpose of watching the breath, to stop your mind from thinking about other things. Because if you think, your mind will never be calm. But if you don't think and you're only watching, then your mind will steadily become calmer and calmer. Then eventually it might just drop into the final resting place. Just watch, okay? Okay, good enough?
Any other questions?
Any more questions?
Okay, I'll give the Anumodana then.
Can we offer Navakama?
Let me give the Anumodana, then I can turn off the broadcast, then you can just offer and sing later. Yā thā wā re wā hā purā pārik purenti sākarang Ewa me wa ito tinang petanang upakapati Ichitang patitang tumhang kipa me wa samichatu saphe purentu sangkapa Janto pana raso yatha manichoti raso yatha sapitiyo viwachantu sapparo ko vinasatu ma te bhavato antarayo sukhi ti khayuko bhava Apivatanasi litsa nityang vuttha pacayino Jataro dhamma vatanti Ayuvano sukhang phalang อันนู้นปิดได้แล้วนะ